In this tutorial, we'll look at using layers in AutoCAD. The layer controls are available from the Layers toolbar. To create new layers, I will click on this icon. The Layer Properties Manager dialog box opens. Right now, there is only one layer, Layer 0. In AutoCAD, when you start a new drawing, there is always this default layer. This is there in case you don't create your own layers. Each layer can have different properties that you define, such as color, line type, and line weight. You can also turn them on or off, or similarly, freeze or thaw layers. I will now set up a group of layers. To do that, I'll first select the New Layer button. Now I'm prompted to give a name. So I'll type Viz. This layer will be used for visible line types. Then I'll create another layer and call it Hid. I'll use this layer to put hidden line types on. I'll click again and create a layer called Dim for dimensions or text. And finally, I'll create a layer called Cen for center lines. Now I will associate different colors with the different layers. Notice that the default is white for each layer. But I can choose a different color by selecting a layer's color. This opens the Select Color dialog box. Notice that there are 3 tabs which give you several ways to select a variety of colors. However, I will just use the standard colors located at the bottom of the Index Color tab. I will do this for each layer. Green for the Hid layer, Cyan for the Dim layer, and red for the Cen layer. In addition to associating a color with a layer, you can also associate a line type with a layer. The default line type is continuous. In fact, the only line type loaded when you start an AutoCAD drawing is the continuous line type. To load additional line types, first select one of the layer's current line types. Then, select Load to load a line type to use in the drawing. I typically use 2 different line types. One is the center, so I'll scroll down and select Center. The other line type is called Hidden, but before I select it, I will hold down the Control key, and that will allow me to select Center and Hidden at the same time. Then click OK. You see, I've added both the center line type and the hidden line type. Now I will associate the center line type with the Cen layer. So select Center and press OK. Next, I'll associate the hidden line type with the Hid layer. So we set up our layers, and all of them are on. However, only one layer is active or current at any time. Right now, the default layer, Layer 0, is current. And when you draw any objects, they will be on the current layer. So I will make the visible layer the current layer. Highlight Viz, and select the Set Current button. Notice that the check has moved to the Viz layer, and Viz is now current. So I will now press OK. Once you've created a series of layers, you can go over here to the Layers control. You see that the Viz layer is visible. That indicates that it is the current layer. If I click on the down arrow, then you see I have access to all of the layers. You are able to set the current layer, turn layers on or off, or freeze or thaw them. So that's the layer control. We'll use this momentarily. Now I will draw some objects. I'll draw a line, Notice that it's yellow. I'll draw another object, a rectangle, and a circle. All of these objects are on the visible layer. If I come up to the layer control, I can change to the dim layer by selecting dim. Now the dim layer is the current layer. I will use the dtext command and press enter. Select a starting point and make the height 20. I want the text horizontal, so I'll press enter. Now I'll type AutoCAD 2005 and press enter twice to end the command. So the color is the same as the color associated with the dim layer. This is an indication that we're using the dim layer. Now we'll change to the hid layer, and I'll draw some line segments. So these lines are on the hidden layer. The color is green, and the line type is hidden. Finally, I'll switch to the center layer. And again, I'll draw some lines. Remember, I set up this layer so that centerline types are used, and a red color is associated with the layer. Now we will look at freezing layers. I want to freeze all of the layers that I used, so I'll open the Layer Control pull-down box. Now, I can never freeze the current layer. So what I will do first is make the current layer the 0 layer. If I open the Layer Control again, I can click on these sunshine icons and change them to snowflakes. By doing this, I have frozen those layers. The effect of that is that we no longer see anything on our drawing screen. But if we come back to the Layer Control and thaw a layer, the Viz layer, the objects on the Viz layer reappear. I can do this to all of the layers. This completes the tutorial on setting up and using layers in AutoCAD.